Hi, boys and girls. So today we're going to be needing our wipe-off board with the tools or your piece of paper with a pencil. So go ahead and pause the video, get what you need, and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write two words at the top of our board today. We're going to write it is. It, leave a space, is. Spaces are so important because your reader uses the spaces to tell where one word stops and another word starts. So a space is as important in your communication in writing as the actual letters that make the word that you're saying. Okay, so you always want to make sure that you're putting spaces between your words, whether we're just writing words like this, or you're writing a sentence, or you're writing several sentences, okay? So I want you to really, really work on that. If that's something that's difficult for you to remember, then when we're back in class, I have some ideas for that. Right now, even if you have a popsicle stick at home, popsicle sticks make great space makers, so you can just put the popsicle stick down like my finger and then write, or you can even use your own finger, and that would make a space and then write. So let's really work on getting into the habit of that when we're writing sentences and things, okay? So we have the two words it and is here. And what we're talking about today are things called contractions. And contractions are where we put two words together and we make one shorter word, okay? So let me show you how that works with it is. If I said to you, it is sunny outside, you know what I'm saying to you, right? If I said, it's sunny outside, I'm pretty much telling you the same information, right? But I'm telling it to you in a slightly different way because I push it and is together to make it's, right? It's. But something very special happens when we squish words together to make this smaller word, okay? And what happens is an apostrophe comes into the word. So the apostrophe comes in where the letter gets kicked out. So if we look at it is, what is the letter that got kicked out when we made its? Can you find it? It's this one. We have it, the whole word here, it's. It's the I in is that gets kicked out. When that I gets kicked out, it leaves a scar, okay? And that scar is something we call an apostrophe. So this is actually the correct way to write it's when we're taking it is and making it shorter, okay? So we're going to try some others now. All right, so I'm going to just kind of put a squiggly line under this because this is our example. So even if you needed to erase because you didn't have room maybe on your whiteboard, you can look up at mine, okay? Or if you're on a piece of paper, you're just going to another area on your piece of paper right now. So let's write the two words are not. Are not. Okay. Now, can you figure out what the contraction would look like? Pause the video and give it a try. All right, let's take a look at this. Are not. Aren't. Are not becomes aren't. Right? Aren't. Okay, so we can see that we had to kick out which letter here? That's right, we kicked out the O in aren't. And we put the apostrophe in where the O would have been if we were writing are not. Do you see that? Okay. So take a look at that for a minute. If you need to write it, pause the video and go ahead and write it because writing it helps your memory. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this top one because, again, that's our example, and erase the bottom one. And let's see if you can do these two words. Do not. Do not. So pause the video and see if you can figure out how to make do not a contraction. All right, so do not becomes don't. And sometimes it helps to think out loud and put it in a sentence. Do not say that to me. How would I say that with a contraction? Don't say that to me, right? So don't. Which letter got kicked out? The O did, right? Do not. The O got kicked out there. See that? Okay. All right, we've got a couple more to do, so let's erase. Can you do has not? Remember, if this is hard, put it in a sentence and see how you would say it as a contraction, as a shortened version of has not, and then see if you can write it down, okay? So pause the video and work on that, please. All right, so has not. She has not finished her breakfast. She has not finished her breakfast. She hasn't finished her breakfast. Hasn't. Hasn't. Okay, so you can even do it this way where you just put those sounds down that you hear in hasn't and then go back. And where does the contraction need to go? Hasn't. Well, what letter got kicked out? O. So your apostrophe goes where the O no longer is, right? That's the scar because the O gets kicked out of the word. It leaves a scar. See that? All right, let's erase. And here's two more words. Here is. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. Remember, say it out loud, put it in a sentence, see if you can figure it out. All right, so here is, here is my purse. Here's my purse. I gets kicked out, apostrophe is there. Do you see it? Okay, one more, and then we're done, all right? How about that is? How would you do that is? Go ahead and pause the video, put it in a sentence, and see if you can figure it out. All right, that is my puzzle. That's my puzzle. That's. Okay, I gets kicked out, apostrophe goes there. See that? All right, we're done with this exercise for today. Thank you, boys and girls.